Before we break down the latest Mel Kiper quarterback rankings, if you guys want more NFL draft videos on this channel, you have to prove it to the bosses. I want to do more, but I'm getting outvoted. So share the video right now. Help me prove to our bosses that you want and need more NFL draft coverage. We're taking a look today at the 2024 NFL Draft quarterback rankings from Mel Kiper. Now, Mel, right before the season began, did put out his initial quarterback list. He did an interview recently and did make some changes to his top 4. So that will be included, and then we'll mention everyone else on his top 6, because he only did 6, and of the other guys he left off. No surprise, number 1, Caleb Williams. That is the not unanimous, but pretty damned close to it consensus around college football. If you've stayed up late for Pac-12 After Dark or just watched the highlights, you've seen some absurd out-of-structure stuff from Caleb Williams. This year, 3 games played. I mean, this is awesome. 78.6%, 878 yards to the air, 13 scores. Now, they have not played very many good schools. They have not. But he is a fantastic quarterback. I do want to see a little bit more stability, consistency in the structure. You know, Mahomes is great out of structure, but he constantly wins inside of it. I want to see Williams do more of that. Aaron Rodgers also fits a similar mold there. That's my comp. No Mahomes comps. They're banned. Aaron Rodgers, though, for Caleb Williams, I like that one, especially young Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, Drake Maye. Not everyone likes Drake Maye. I'm a big fan. Takes me back to when I was higher on most than Justin Herbert. Like, I think I had him 15th or somewhere in that range on my rankings that year, and among all players. And I remember some very smart football people were like, Herbert's not a first-round pick at all. Maye reminds me. Maybe it's the number and the arm apparel that he wears with wrist tapes, etc. Numbers don't look that great. The 2 interceptions, they would look much better had it not been for some drops from the UNC receivers and a bunch of red zone rushing touchdowns that have been had by the UNC offense. He makes a lot of high-level NFL throws. He is a football nerd's quarterback, where it's not the same like flashy stuff that Caleb Williams does, but operating in structure, he does a really, really good job. Now, those 2 guys are going to be first-round picks, even if you don't maybe like them for whatever reason. Other players, quarterback 3 battles wide open, will also be first-round picks. So take your best guess here. How many quarterbacks go in round 1 of the 2024 NFL Draft? It's the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Now, Kiper made a change. Shedeur Sanders, who was not on his top 6 preseason, is now number 3. And according to Mel, a guaranteed high first-round pick. Here's what Mel said. Said Sanders to me right now is a guaranteed high first-round pick. I think if we look at the way he's played at Colorado and the Sean Lewis offense, the accuracy has been unbelievable. If he stays at Colorado, we'll be talking about him next summer like we're talking about Caleb Williams right now. Number 1 pick guaranteed. So he's got a decision to make. Got to be excited with everything we're seeing right now with this football team, but particularly Shedeur Sanders. What a quarterback he is. Now, I have liked Sanders dating back to his Jackson State days. He's always been an NFL caliber quarterback. But there's way too much hyperbole here there for me. Kiper, what he's saying is, for a guy that wasn't top 6 on his list before the season began, and I don't even know if he was top 10, honestly, is now a guaranteed future first-round pick and first overall pick. Okay, based on 2 games. I have and will continue to mock Sanders in round 1. I love his game. There's a lot to like. I want to see him do it against bigger competition. He's delivered there, but there are no guarantees a year and a half out. That's reckless. You know, we once had Spencer Rattler as the first overall pick, and he's still in school and maybe gets drafted. But I do love what Sanders has done so far. It is a wide open battle for the quarterback 3 spot behind Williams, behind Drake Maye. And there's a lot of very good quarterbacks who are competing for that spot. And Sanders absolutely is one of them. And I would like nothing more than to see Shedeur Sanders win the Heisman Trophy this year. I am cheering for this to work. I like his game a lot. I think Deion also knows, if he wins the Heisman, he's gone. And I think Deion's okay with that and have his son have great success there. So I love what I've seen from Shedeur Sanders. I think he plays the game very intelligently. His football IQ is very high. I think he will be a first-round pick. But I will not guarantee that because it is September. And if Shedeur Sanders suddenly gets bad, he's not going to be a first-round pick. There's a lot of football still to be played. So will Sanders be a first-round pick? Get your votes in for me in the comments section. Y for yes, he will. N for no, he will not. Number 4 is Quinn Ewers out of Texas, who I like, by the way. Even though there is still some inconsistency in his game. Again, he was lower on Kiper's initial list at quarterbacks. He was number 6. Now says he is at number 4. Saying, quote, Quinn Ewers, if we see that performance week in and week out, he's going to be way up there behind Caleb Williams, behind Drake Maye, and Shedeur Sanders in that 3rd or 4th spot overall at the QBs, which put him early to mid-first round. Ewers wasn't that great against Rice. He was really great against Alabama. I'm sorry, Producer Chris. He's a Bama fan. This is your trigger warning. You can stop listening for 30 seconds here. He struggled with deep balls last year against Rice and threw some dimes. Now, the footwork is still not always the best. It's very, happy-go-lucky, inconsistent, which will drive some evaluators insane because they just want it structured. But Ewers can make some incredible plays. Like if flag football ever becomes an Olympic sport, that's my quarterback. He's so good at it. If he can continue to stay steady, he could very well be a first-round pick. I would not be surprised by that one. So who will be QB number 3 in the NFL draft? Lots of names you can go. Many more we're about to get to. But drop your early prediction right now. Now, the rest of the rankings we are about to get to here are based on the original Mel Kiper preseason list. He changed 3 and 4, so we took the original 3, 4, 5 and just moved them down a few spots. We'll break it all down for you here. But first, tell you guys about today's sponsor, Game Time. If you're trying to buy last-minute tickets, if you want to make sure you're getting the best deal on your sports, theater, concert, whatever tickets, Game Time is the place to go. They're giving you $20 off your first purchase when you use promo code NFLChat. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Simply create your account by downloading the app at gametime.co. Super easy to use, by the way. It takes like 30 seconds, if that's going on. You're not doing all this log in, okay, create password, answer these. There's not a bunch of stuff. It's very simple. I appreciate that from the Game Time app there. Go to your profile, hit redeem code, plug in NFL Chat for $20 off. You get the best deals on tickets thanks to the Game Time guarantee. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less than what you paid for, they will credit you 110% of the difference. They're just going to give you your money back and more. It's fantastic, They have flash deals, last-minute tickets, and everything you could ever want from a sports and more app. Download Game Time today at gametime.co. Create your account. Use promo code NFLChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. But download Game Time today. The link and the promo code in the comments and the description of today's show. Number 5, Riley Leonard out of Duke. I like Leonard. The Clemson game got people going. Also showed the concerns I have with Riley Leonard, where he didn't complete a pass beyond 10 yards in that game. But he's a great athlete. There are flashes. I need to see more of a consistent passer. He's a really good athlete. Duke's going to be a contender this year, relative to Duke expectations. Not saying they're going to win the national title or anything, but there. Leonard has room to be a more consistent passer. If that arrives, really good things are going to happen for him and for Duke. Number 6 is Bo Nix. It's very funny as we go through all the quarterbacks on the list we'll talk about today, how many transfers there are and how the transfer portal, for the better, has impacted the college game and quarterbacks. Bo Nix, to be blunt, sucked at Auburn. He was a meme. And now He's a Heisman Trophy contender on a college football playoff threat. Now, I haven't played anyone of note. I thought Oregon overall kind of struggled against Tech. They kind of, I think, got caught sleeping a little bit. 5 touchdowns, 77.5% of the passes. I like Bo Nix. I'm saying that like I have memed him so much. He's a legit NFL player. Now, it might be like a day 3 pick still at his age and previous experience, but he's draftable. Michael Penick out of Washington is next up here. The lefty who he will get comped to Tua, by the way. I don't think their styles are really that similar beyond just being lefties, but his numbers have been pretty good. Washington can also be a real threat as long as Penick's healthy. I think the medicals for him are going to be critical. If the medicals check out, he could very well be a top 100 pick somewhere in that range. If they don't, it's going to be a bit dicey. They do have some nice playmakers, by the way, the Huskies do. Who did Mel Kiper leave off his list? I think there are several players, one of whom had to be in the top 6 as far as I'm concerned, that were in their top 7, I should say, that were not on there. Who do you think he left off? Sound off in the comments. The big name for me is J.J. McCarthy. Now, I don't know how much we'll really get to see of the NFL caliber asks of McCarthy in the Michigan offense with not that many great teams they're playing early on this season. He's looked great so far. He has great athleticism, a just whip for an arm. Do not sleep on McCarthy. Spencer Rattler is controversial. The former Oklahoma, now South Carolina quarterback has been, inconsistent up and down over the course of his career. We'll see how that all plays out, but there is talent for Rattler. It really comes down to the interview. Rattler has not had the best interview stuff. I mean, y'all watch that Netflix series, right? And I've heard a lot of buzz about not just that, but his overall attitude. If he checks out the interviews, he can still be drafted. I like Jordan Travis. Again, college football this year has a ton of awesome college quarterbacks. Travis is one of them. That FSU team has a bunch of talent. They might go undefeated this year. I would not be surprised by that. That'll get Travis plenty of buzz. The strongest arm in college football probably belongs to Joe Milton. It's basically you put a rocket launcher on top of a rocket launcher. It's unbelievable how strong that arm is. If the consistency can be there, look out. We'll see how that happens this season. All 3 guys have played pretty well so far this year, by the way. Again, most of these guys not playing the best opposing teams. That's why there's 1 interception between them. We're getting into week 3, so give them some more time. They will begin to differentiate themselves as the season goes on. Michael Pratt, who I am heartbroken did not play against Ole Miss. He is a G5 prospect, or G6, G7, whatever we're calling it these days, but I like what he has to offer. So I am very excited to see what else he can do if he can get healthy. I don't know if that is going to be the case for Pratt going forward. If healthy, he's very good. Now, if you have not already, please make sure you guys are subscribed at youtube.com/chatsportstv. Free videos for you guys every single day when you hit that sub button. Some more quarterback process. I'll go faster here. Cameron Ward, I'm not as high on him, but I know there's some love from him in the NFL. Offers some fun, just overall arm talent. Jalen Daniels at Kansas, probably take him more seriously if he's healthy. He's really good. OSU quarterbacks get drafted now pretty early. Kyle McCord is the starter. Now, he has to play a whole season. I'm not putting 2-game sample size McCord in the first round. Let's see how the year plays out. KJ Jefferson, producer Chris complimented Jacoby Brissett. I don't mind that one. Probably won't lose a bunch of games for you. Could at least be a high-end backup. Jaden Daniels has to be less bad Josh Allen of just recklessness and be a bit more consistent. Did not play well against FSU. I think that really hurt his eyes and the media scouts pretty early on. Clemson looks bad. Maybe it was Dabo's fault and not DJ Uiagalelei. Let's see how he plays this year in the Pac-12. Maybe he could find his way to. We're pretty deep in the quarterback list, so maybe late round pick. Tyler Van Dyke. I am prepared to get hurt again. I liked him a year ago. He was or 2 years ago. He was terrible last year, but better coordinator play now at Miami. I might get hurt again by him. Sam Hartman checks off the good college quarterback, but old. How well does his game translate? I don't know. We'll see how he fares as Notre Dame plays more tougher talent. He's a very good quarterback, though. Grayson McCall, I think, there was some brief hype around him earlier in his career. That's kind of cooled off a little bit there, but I still like him. And Devin Leary was supposed to be great for NC State. Had a terrible year last year. I have been whelmed so far by his play at Kentucky. But these are all veteran players. They're going to get a shot in the NFL. It's a matter of, is it a real shot, or is it like you come in for a training camp and then you kind of flame out? A lot of great college quarterback play, though, across the NFL. CFB.